What's up, LEGO builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for week 9 of building Cato Neimoidia. I'm still sick, so this week will be interesting because you guys know how it is when you're sick. Besides the fact that you're weak, coughing, not feeling good, you're just unmotivated to do things. Your brain's kind of foggy and cloudy. And so working on Cato Neimoidia is going to be tough when sick for that reason, just because it requires a lot of thought, a lot of planning, a lot of building, and a lot of work. But obviously progress still has to continue, so I will get something done. I'm starting to step away from rock work and starting to work more on kind of the area where the city is going to be connecting to the wall. This is a very important and pivotal time for Cato Neimoidia because this is going to make the future either very easy or very hard, because after I get all this in and put the city in, reworking how the cliff is structured or how the pad's structured or how it's connected to the city is going to be really hard because everything's been built. So I really need to make sure that I'm taking everything that I need into account, making sure that I'm really planning, basically just making sure that I'm not making any mistakes and everything is about as perfect as it can be, which sets up a lot of pressure on my shoulders, but you know, that's the case when you're building large mocks. All that being said, I think it's time to get started. I started out this week by working on the rear of the first cliff, basically getting that large hole put into the back of the mock that I've been talking about for what feels like weeks now. I'm using green for the top part just because there's green on the bottom, so I wanted, it to be one complete circle of green. I felt like it would look weird if there's green on the bottom but not the top. Plus, no one will ever see back here. The reason I'm starting back here this week is because I want to connect those giant lime green rods you can see kind of up towards my head on the cliff to the back wall. This is going to help, hopefully, with the front wall not sagging once the weight of the city starts to pull on it. I could be wrong, that might not work, but I figured better safe than sorry. I might as well have the front and the back connected. And since I hadn't really done any work on the back, I figured it was high time I got this up to the right height, just so that, I could have it built and connect those rods, and just for the sake of progress, back here's got to be built eventually, just like the front. I tend to neglect the backs just because it's really just sticking down brick and it's not that fancy, and it feels like it's not that important even though it is, so it'll be good to get this up to the correct height. I've also got a pretty sizable haul here to go over. First thing we got is some light bluish gray 6x8, as well as some 2x4 and 2x6 dark bluish gray plate. I really hate it when the Bricklink sellers stack my plate like this, because then I have to go through and take apart every individual piece. I did also get some dark tan 1x2 bricks, got that right this time, as well as some random dark bluish gray pieces and some white pieces. Those are one piece in particular is for the Gunship, and then the rest were just extras. The crown jewel of this haul though are the 800 green 2x4 bricks that I bought for filler. I kept running low and running out on filler brick, and it was getting very frustrating, so I decided to just go all in and then find a store that had just a ridiculous amount for a good price. So I found this place, and the nice thing is it's green. I already have a bunch of green brick and it's in good condition, so I can use it for other purposes than filler. Okay, here's what I got done over here on this side. I completely finished off that gap with the green brick. I'm going to have ample room to work around in here and get stuff done. Right now what I'm doing is connecting the cliff face to the back of the wall. That way this wall doesn't wiggle, and I'll have a little bit of extra support for this front part. It's just going to be 3 big rods. You can see this first one's connected, and then I'm just going to connect this one into the wall. It'll probably come in right around here in this area. And then you can see this one's going to come in right around here somewhere. Now I have something extremely cool to show you guys. Down here we've got 4 epic looking 442nd troopers, and these were decaled and sent to me by Beanie Boy Bricks, a fantastic decaler. He does phenomenal work. I would highly recommend checking out his channel. I'll put a link to it down below in the description. Seriously, he does some really cool decals, and he absolutely hit it out of the park with these. I've got a recon trooper there in the back. I've got an ARF trooper, a heavy trooper, and a regular 442nd grunt. I put one I did right there just so you could see how nicely they mesh together with what I've already done. I'm super excited to put these in the mock, not only because they look so good, but also because it'll give my army a little bit of variation. All I had done so far were the regular grunts, and then he sent me some decals to do, I think, another heavy trooper, another recon, and another arc. So if you're watching this, huge thank you, man. You really went above and beyond to helping this mock come together, so thank you for that. So what to do now? As you guys can see, not much has changed this week. I've been pretty sick, and besides the fact that I've been, sick and not feeling well, I just haven't been motivated to work on the build. Don't really know what to do or where to start, not feeling particularly inspired. So hopefully on tomorrow's stream I can get those creative juices flowing and get back on track. I might start working more on this. I might jump over there. I honestly don't know, but there will be more progress to come, and I will check back in with you guys when I've got something to show you. So I just finished streaming, and on that stream I built these large cables. You can see this is basically what this is going to be. I wanted to use these ball joints to create that flexibility and that ability to shape what I wanted, but I wanted them to be strong and I wanted them to look as realistic as possible. And I put 2 ball joint sockets next to each other, basically making this thing 4 bricks wide or 2 ball joints wide. So you can see right there for double the connection strength. And then I put some cheese slopes on top with some plate. And then I did the same thing on the bottom, just kind of using that technique I was using on Utapau with the half pegs. You can see I got the half peg in right there, and then it just slides into the bottom of the brick. And this allows me to have that same cheese slope angle on the bottom as well as the top. I felt like doing this would make the links or the cables much more realistic and get rid of a bunch of studs. Overall, just make it look cooler. So you can see that's going to hang down there like that. I've got 3 links on each side, and then I ran out of parts, so I've got a big order coming in hopefully this week that should allow me to be able to build some more of those and start to test the strength and how much weight that these can hold. I've got a couple different designs here too that I want to get your guys' feedback on. So you can see on this side the 2x4 tile actually sticks up above the rest of the block, whereas over here it planes into the top of the cheese slope, so this top area is all the same height. So let me know which one you like more down below in the comments, with a little bit of ridge on the top, or just to all have it be the same height. I did also finish the M5 Wolfpack gunship. I'm very happy with this model. I think it looks sweet. And then you can see right here, I got the little wolf heads on the side just to add a little bit of extra detail. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the build. I'm excited to put it in the mock. I am a little concerned about how I'm going to fit 2 of these in the mock because, I wanted a regular one and a wolf pack. And you can see right here, it takes up about 1 gray base plate of space. So that would be 2 whole base plates taken up by gunships. And I don't want this canyon area to feel overcrowded. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. If I do end up only having 1 gunship, it'll definitely be the Wolfpack one though, because I think this one looks a little bit cooler with the dark blue. Plus I'll have many opportunities to use the other gunship, whereas I don't build with Wolfpack as often. So that wraps up this week of building Cato Neimoidia. Got a lot of work done over here. Very happy with how this is looking. It's time to jump over here and build this side up. You can see I haven't worked over here in a while. In fact, I haven't even started that large dark bluish gray pad over here. So that means lots of work cut out for me, which is good because I've been a little bit unmotivated this week, so hopefully that'll get me back into the groove of things. All that being said, that wraps up another successful week, and it's time to go hit the outro. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week of Cato Neimoidia. Sickness or not, I was able to make some progress. The interesting thing about progress is it raises more questions than it answers. This meaning I put those cables in, connected to them to the wall, and then realized, how am I going to get cables that are 4 bricks wide to angle? You know what I mean? Because if you're using a single ball joint, you can angle it to the left or right as well as up and down. But if you're using 2 right next to each other, you have just gotten rid of your ability to go to the left and to the right. And I didn't want them to be just straight down in front of them, angled. I wanted them to come down and meet at a point. So now I've got to figure out how to do that and how I'm going to make that work. But that's just the joys of block building, is just solving one problem after the next. Like I said in the video, I will be jumping over to the other side next week and hopefully getting that up to the same level as the first one. Hope you guys enjoyed this week of building Cato Neimoidia. I hope I made sense. I hope my thoughts weren't too muddled. I was pretty sick, but I'm feeling better now. If you like this video, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to let me know what you thought of this episode down below in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future content. But until next time, happy building.